Welcome back to the Bootleg Universe Pitch Show, where we are sharing our takes on what we would do with some big franchise IP so that Hollywood can mercilessly rip us off or ignore us completely. I'm not sure which I prefer. Yeah, they're not going to call us.
I'm fine with either.
Today, we are hearing a pitch from Graham Hughes.
Hello.
Who has a new take on a classic beloved character, star of many a film, who lives in a swamp.
Yes, we are talking today about Shrek, Monster Hunter.
Shrek, Monster Hunter.
So this version of the Shrek tale starts out much like the cartoon one does. Shrek lives alone in a swamp, except in our darker, grittier, bootleggier version of the story, he pays for his privacy by hunting down and killing other fairy tale creatures.
What monsters or fairy tale creatures has he beheaded?
Okay, so Shrek in this world has a reputation for being the best monster hunter because, for one thing, he's an ogre and everyone else are like flimsy, pathetic humans. And two, he'll take any job, be that fighting off giant trolls or just exterminating fairies in someone's house. You know, he's cold, he's ruthless, he'll do whatever it takes. And this goes back to Shrek's upbringing in the fairy tale fighting pits, learning image is everything. You have to look tough and be tough to survive. So he's taken that to heart and made a career out of it by hunting down his fellow fairy tale beings.
I love it. Its slogan, it takes a monster to hunt a monster.
Exactly.
Shrek, Monster Hunter.
So I had a whole thing written about the what the story was going to be, the actual like plot and everything. And then on the way here, I had what I think is a better idea that is much less...
Happens all the time.
I know.
Which is much less developed because it's only like 10 minutes old. So I will probably need your guys' help to finish it. So I'm just going to lay out some bones really quickly. Mm-hmm. But starts with Shrek getting a new bounty to take out this talking donkey nearby. And he goes and he finds it. He's about to behead it when it bargains for its life with some information. Shrek up to this point has been like, he's looking to get out of the game. He's kind of tired of this. He puts up this mean front, but secretly he's kind of like, he doesn't like all the slaughter. He's looking for a way out, right?
I'm too old for this shit.
And Donkey offers him one. He tells him like, look, I know where this massive treasure is, this huge fortune. You know, if you let me live, I can lead you to it. So he agrees and they set off together, you know, embark on a road trip sort of where they get to know each other. Donkey starts to break down his emotional barriers a little bit. They sort of become friends, you know, have some perilous journey along the way where they fight some other creatures. And, you know, maybe there's a rival monster hunter that looks suspiciously similar but legally distinct from Henry Cavill's Witcher.
Mm-hmm. Very specific.
Yes. And then so they get to their destination. It turns out it's a massive beanstalk. And they climb up. There's a giant at the top and a, you know, epic fight scene. Shrek fights the giant, kills him, throws him off the side of the beanstalk. And that's when we get the reveal. The spell is broken and Donkey transforms back into a person and it's Jack. Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, okay. Twist in the narrative. I like this.
So he has famously from the story been stealing from this giant for years, but he was finally caught and the giant used some magic to transform him into a donkey and send him away. Because it turns out he's actually kind of a gentle giant. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He's just like, you're a donkey now, leave. But you know, now he's come back. He's used Shrek to kill the giant. Mm-hmm. And now he takes the giant's treasure, which turns out is the goose that lays the golden eggs. So he grabs it, he runs off. And this is kind of the midpoint of the movie where the rest of it is, okay, the giant's dead. Everyone in the kingdom knows because it's freaking huge and caused like an earthquake and crushed a village or something like that.
Right. I was just thinking it should like splat on the city.
Exactly. So you've got angry townspeople. You've got everyone who knows that the giant had treasure. You know, maybe the king's men. You've got rival mercenaries and Shrek all chasing after Donkey, trying to get to him first. And Shrek is like, you know, reconciling with the betrayal and all of this stuff. And from where it goes after that, I don't really know. But that's what I have at the moment.
Okay. So I have two pitches for moments in this.
Okay.
Okay. First off, it's Jack and the beanstalk. So you have to have some magic beans somewhere. I would
Right.
suggest that eventually Shrek kills Jack/Donkey by shoving magic beans down his throat. And then they grow a beanstalk that like splits his body in half.
yeah.
Second, there comes a point where Shrek has taken the goose that lays the golden eggs and he's about to kill the goose. And Jack says to him, "You wouldn't kill the goose that lays the golden eggs, would you?" And then Shrek says, "I wouldn't. Why don't you take a gander?" And then
Ding.
cuts the goose's head off.
Absolutely.
Hashtag writing.
Yeah. I love
And
the.
that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah.
It has to
Gander.
be full of like the cheesy commando Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners.
Oh, for sure. My
Absolutely.
question is, does Shrek get revenge on Donkey and take him down as a villain he is, or does he understand Donkey and get him to...
It has to be the violent revenge version.
It's
This can't be we've learned to get along
Right,
and
yeah.
understand our differences version.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think one thing too is like he could maybe his character doesn't believe in magic. He's a very he believes in his crossbow, his axe. He believes in whatever can basically
if it bleeds,
take-
we can
if
kill
it
it.
bleeds-
Fucking lady ogres.
Right. He's just like he doesn't believe in magic. And so to kind of set up that ending is Donkey sells him these magic beans. At some point Shrek does encounter when he kind of maybe there's a fairy or one of the characters like that and basically does a spell on the beans. So when Shrek shoves them down Donkey's mouth, and Donkey can be like, "Oh, like guess what? I tricked you. Those aren't magic, and you don't believe in it anyway, and blah 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 or whatever." And then so then there's like he could say your one-liner, and then Sam can come up with another little magical one-liner after that. And so
Okay, all right. So he's gotten like a magical charm from a wizard at some point, and that's what creates the magic beans. And so after Donkey's entire body has been ripped in half by the beanstalk, he says, "Work like a charm."
Zing! Okay, boom. All right, yeah, that's it. There you go. So he arcs. There's a little arc for him. He's like he accepts magic now. I guess like in a weird way, what happened to Fiona? Is Farquaad in this, or this is like
Farquaad is the king. I think he's sending like soldiers after them.
Okay.
But he's kind of removed from the situation. So I was trying to force Fiona into something for like a while, and it just wasn't fitting because I think this works better as rather than a 3 protagonists. It's more like the lone hero and his ward, at least for the first half, like very Mandalorian, very The Witcher or whatever.
I think too, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, I guess, he puts a hit out on Shrek, and you do
Shrek somehow takes the blame for the giant.
for the giant. So they're like, we've got to take him down, and then you could go to other, very famous mythological fairy tale characters, and they're recruited basically to like come after him, Born Identity style.
Yeah, I had an image of Little Red Riding Hood as
Little
like
Red Riding Hood.
a red hooded warrior riding a dire wolf or whatever.
Right.
It's just fucking
You could have, and he goes to a neighboring kingdom, and we're going real wide here. He's not a monster, but you could go with Lancelot steals Excalibur and tries to take him down too. You could do what are other one? I'm sure Beowulf can like he's a rival monster hunter who wants to take Shrek down, cutting into his business.
Maybe Shrek slays Grendel, and then Beowulf is pissed off, and then
That's his whole business model. yeah. Beowulf is just he's like out of work. He's just like living in some pub or whatever. They got to drag him out because give him a second chance to take Shrek down.
Call him Bum Wolf, am I right? Ayo.
Yeah.
All right. One more one-liner pitch. All right. After Shrek knocks the giant over the edge and the giant falls and splats and there's guts and giant blood everywhere, Shrek leans over the edge of the cloud castle thing, whatever he's on top of the beanstalk, and he goes, "Fee, fi, fo, fuck."
This is why Sam
And the Oscar for Best Script was
Sam gets he's paid the big bucks.
Oh, I would quickly like to mention the original version of this had Shrek getting to the giant beanstalk, getting up top, killing the giant, and then realizing, oh, it turns out the goose that lays golden eggs was kind of a flowery metaphor to hide the more disgusting truth. There's actually a talking donkey that like craps little gold nuggets. And that was, yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. The possibilities are endless with this concept.
It's true. As long as it has a talking donkey in it, you're good to go.
Yeah, and I do like that. I appreciate that you do a nice reversal there on donkey. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching another episode of the Bootleg Universe Pitch Show. We'll be back next time with a James Bond inspired pitch that Ken and I have been working on for a little while.
Ooh.